boo, guys. Alright, so here's how the show works. It's called Crime of the Hour, by the way. I've spent the past couple months doing a deep dive into the life and crimes of Fred and Rosemary West, and have compiled a detailed outline, which these bloody brilliant improvisers will use to create original scenes. They know nothing about the crime and will be traumatized with the audience. I do want to say up front, trigger warning. These people are probably the worst people who ever existed. Really? Yeah, not these guys. Yeah, a lot of sexual violence, a lot of actual violence, a lot of incest. So just be emotionally prepared. All right, great, good job. Frederick West was born in September of 1941 to farm worker parents. His father ruled the family with an iron fist, and his mother was extremely overprotective of him. His father would regularly rape his sisters in front of him, and his mother watched him obsessively. Fred's favorite childhood memory was his father teaching him how to have sex with a sheep. Rose's childhood wasn't much good either. From birth, she never cried, but would rock herself to sleep. She was regularly beat about the head, and at age 10, her father began sexually abusing her. A pattern of behavior began where she would repeat that sexual assaults on her younger siblings. As they entered their teenage years, Fred began sleeping with his mother, which he thanked his father for regularly, but eventually ended up in a major motorcycle accident, giving him brain damage. He was not wearing a helmet. Both members of the future couple have the trademark head injury that most serial killers had.
I'm really, really pleased that you've agreed to marry me, Annie.
It's alright, I mean, why wouldn't I?
Well, because of my iron fist.
I mean, as long as you keep it over that side, you know, stay on that side of the bed, don't roll over and...
Squash your head.
No, yeah, I mean, don't do that. It'll be fine. I'm really looking forward to it.
No, I'm really nervous because, you know, I'm pretty sure it's going to go well, and I'm just looking forward to a really nice future together.
No.
You know? Oh, sorry.
I mean, that's quite heavy.
I know, sorry, I just wanted to be affectionate. Sorry, I'll just...
Maybe don't be so affectionate on my shoulder.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll just pop it back in.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
I've seen it on Lethal Weapon.
No, it's fine. Just leave it as it is, it's fine.
Are you sure? Because it won't, honestly, I've done it loads of times.
You did it loads of times?
Yeah, I dislocate all my girlfriend's shoulders.
Oh,
It's always a mistake.
I thought I was special.
I did tell you it's not my first time dislocating a girl's shoulder. You know,
But you always remember your first time.
I do remember.
That was my first time.
Oh, that was the first time.
I'll never forget.
Oh. All right.
Right, so how are you getting on with the old harvest?
It's going alright, yeah, it's going alright. Yeah.
Hey, you got all the veggies up?
Got all the veggies up.
Got all the
Got all the wheat in.
all the what?
All the wheat in.
You've what?
All the wheat.
The
I
wheat.
got it in.
The wheat. Oh, sorry. I thought you said you've been waiting.
Excuse me.
Hey.
I'm not that heavy.
You've upset her now. You've upset her now.
I know, right? She's very sensitive. I don't know how to. I'm always upset, and the thing is, I don't know how to, you know, make her happy.
Right. Me being your father-in-law and everything, you know, a woman wants to be treated like a prize cow.
Could you?
I heard that.
I said like a prize cow.
A prized one. I mean, not like one that isn't properly fed and goes into a factory and is forced to not see its children all the time while it produces milk.
You're calling me fat.
No.
Good.
Look, you don't want to treat her like some everyday Jersey. You want to treat her like one with a little blue rosette on her chest.
Right? How do I do that, Dad? Teach me manly ways.
Right, look, what you do is you get her into the barn.
Right, get her into the barn, alright?
Right, hey, let's practice.
Alright.
Here's the barn, right?
Come on. Right, by the neck.
No, not by the neck, by the youth. There we go, that's right, get her into the barn. Make sure she's nice and comfy on the hay. That's right,
I just got this in.
Yeah, pat it down. That's right. And then you've got to caress her.
Right?
That's right, look how she's enjoying it.
Milk.
Bloody hell, you made her pop her udders.
Well, what do I do with these?
Right, hang on a moment. Don't be fondling my cows.
It's all right.
Right, look, put her off. You went for the tip too quickly.
I knew this was happening. Look what you've done.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to, learn how to.
I saw it. I saw it through the door.
I'm sorry. I just wanted you to. Would it help if I had an iron fist?
Try it again. Yeah. I still don't think it's working properly. I think there's something wrong with the gasket spring.
The gasket spring?
Yeah, the gasket spring. I think it's sprung.
What about the pushy pipe?
I already replaced the pushy pipe.
Not that then.
Could be the Applebee sprocket.
What about the distributor tip?
I topped that off. Maybe the oil's overflowed into the cap.
Hey, you checked the petrol clutch?
Petrol clutch. We didn't check the petrol
I
clutch.
didn't. You tried.
Hold on. It can't have a petrol clutch because it's a diesel.
It's a diesel pipe.
Oh,
It's a diesel Harley Davidson.
and you want to check the diesel hole?
Wait, are you smoking near this bike?
Yeah, but it's diesel, so nothing will happen.
He's a new kid. You leave him alone.
Yeah, I'm the new kid. I'm 72.
Put my feet on the pedals.
That's right. Sit up and beg. Alright, let me... Pass me the handle fig.
Handle thing.
That's right.
Stick it right there in the chrome bendy.
You are.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Alright.
You gonna go out there with a helmet on?
What?
Helmets?
A helmet, yeah.
Helmets?
Yeah.
Helmets?
A head hard.
Yeah.
We don't wear no head hards.
No, we just bounce off the road and get straight back up.
Oh, but it'll save brain squish.
Squish. I don't know what kind of garage you think this is, new kid. But we actively encourage brain squish here. And if you suffer from brain squish, then you is a fanny.
Is that like a petrol clutch?
On par with it.
Okay. Well, I just saying, I knew a guy. And he wasn't
We
very-
all knew a guy.
You knew a guy.
I knew a lot of guys.
Well, if you don't listen.
Before the twisted Romeo and Juliet met, Fred was married to a woman named Rita Costello. They met at a dance hall and married shortly afterwards. Here was the thing. Rita was already pregnant with a child of a South Asian bus driver. Fred told his family that it was his child, and when the baby was born, they came up with a story. Fred told everyone that his and Rita's baby had died, and they had adopted this child to replace the stillborn. They named the baby Charmaine and was soon joined by another sibling named Anne-Marie, who was Fred's biological child. Fred converted the girls' bunk beds into cages to keep them in there for long periods of time. Soon a nanny was brought on, 16-year-old Anne McFall, and it wasn't long before Fred was sleeping with her. He also worked as an ice cream driver, but lost that job after he ran over a toddler. Both sleeping with the nanny and killing the child, Fred decided that it was time to move his family to Chatham. There, Fred repeatedly sexually assaulted various women in severely sadistic manners. He had multiple affairs and repeatedly acted out spousal violence against Rita until she left. But Fred was able to maintain custody of the girls because Rita was so scared of him. At this point, he started calling Anne, the nanny, his wife. Rita would make regular visits, would make regular visits to visit her children, worried that Fred would one day kill her. Then Annie became pregnant. Fred asked her to get an abortion, and she refused. A few months later, she went missing. Rita asked where Anne went, and soon Rita was missing as well. If you're wondering where Rosemary was at this time, she was significantly younger than Fred. Shortly after the women went missing, a 27-year-old Fred met a woman at the bus stop. It was 15-year-old Rosemary.
Right, good, okay. It's a good scoop. You put it into the cone really well.
Thank
Now,
you.
another flake. No. Okay, well, I'm going to have to mark that down as a minor. You know, you have implied it, but you're not meant to lick it before you put it in.
Oh.
Okay, now the sauce.
Oh.
Yeah, now, see, you're not meant to, I'm going to put that down as a minor. Right. And now the sprinkles. You know, I mean, just for the artistic, a minor. Right. And now we're going to bring in a real life child. And we'll try that again, okay? This is Timmy. This is my own son. Timmy,
Yes.
what would you like?
Could I please have 1 scoop of vanilla and 1 scoop of strawberry on the cone?
Oh, there we go. Off you go. You do this and you will be an officially licensed ice cream driver. Next scoop.
Vanilla's the white one.
Cheers, Tim.
Am I supposed to be helping?
Please do.
I mean, not really, son, but you know what? Because you're my favourite of the offspring.
In a tub.
No, cone.
That was a single cone. Would you like a wafer cone?
Yes.
Wafer cone. You know what? Daddy's paying.
Oh, wafer cone.
It's that one there, away from the...
Cheers, Tim.
Okay, done that. Would you like a flake?
You not put the strawberry scoop in yet?
I'll put the strawberry scoop in.
Are you a qualified ice cream
I am.
maker?
I'm just trying to speed the process up a little
Right,
bit.
alright.
Alright. Would you like a flake, son?
Yes, I'd like a flake, please. Can it
Flake?
go in the vanilla one? I don't like chocolate and strawberry together in my mouth.
That's right. Well, that's another minor.
No, I like that.
Did you?
Why give a bit of spittle on top of the plate?
Okay. Would you like sauce?
No, that's fine, Let's taste now.
Right. Right. Well, you've had a few minors, but you've not killed any minors. So, yeah, officially licensed. There you go. Here's your jacket. And your hat.
Just have me flake.
Oh!
Daddy! Tim,
The flake!
was I supposed to put knives in it or no?
Here, darling, I'm back. I got what you wanted.
Yeah.
From IKEA for the baby room. Cage.
That's a weird name for it though, isn't
It
it?
is a weird name for a bunk bed. Cage. But you know IKEA, they
It's
give things
IKEA.
weird names.
Oh.
Right. Ooh.
You hold that.
That's on, yes.
2 hours later.
Oh, thanks for doing all of that.
Yeah,
Are you okay in there?
I think I've made a mistake.
Oh. Were there pieces missing, or?
No, all the pieces are here,
Yeah.
but I've made it from inside.
Oh.
And it is just a cage.
2 hours later. 2 hours later.
Love! Love! I need a poo.
2 hours later.
Sorry, I'll never know.
All right, preschool.
Rose twice refused to go on a date with Fred, but allowed him to accompany them home. In their initial conversations, Fred discovered that Rose had never had a boyfriend, but was extremely overtly promiscuous. He also extracted a degree of sympathy for her, claiming that he and his 2 daughters had been abandoned by his wife. The reality was he likely killed them and buried them somewhere. That being the wife and the nanny. He wished to find a new wife and have more children. Within weeks of first meeting Fred, Rose left her job at a bread shop in order to become his nanny to his 2 children. Rose's parents forbade their daughter from continuing to date Fred, but she defied their wishes, which led to her being placed in the troubled girls' home. She was released at 16 just to find out Fred had a month-long jail sentence for theft and assault, leaving Rose to care for his 2 children. In order to make money, she decided to become a sex worker, which she would continue for the rest of her life, but it also developed into a fetish for the pair of them.
So, I just wanted to gather you here today, girls, to let you know about quite a major development in my life.
Okay.
So, you know me and James.
Oh.
We're totally doing it.
You and Jace,
Yeah?
You're doing it.
Yeah. Well,
like they do on the Discovery Channel.
You're doing it.
You're
Well,
being doing it.
we're like almost doing it.
You're almost doing it.
How
Your
can
girlfriend,
you be
what do
almost
you mean?
doing it?
Well, we haven't done it yet,
No.
but we're totally going to do it.
Right, well that's not almost doing it, that's just talking about doing it.
Well,
Have you-
we've done more than that.
what you done? Has they led you into a barn?
What?
Has they led you into a barn? Laid you down? Treated you like a prize cat?
Yeah, loads.
Has it?
Go loads of barns. Dagenham's got wow loads of barns.
Right, well has he dislocated your shoulder with a metal hand? Because that's love.
Sure. Yeah, you could. Yeah, I'd let him.
What have you done then?
Just like, you know.
I'm drinking a tiny Ribena.
Yeah, we've done the gravy.
The
You've
gravy?
done the gravy?
You're making this up, you?
No.
We've never even met this Jace.
What's the gravy then?
It's just when you like do it in a weird way. Look it up, Urban Dictionary.
Like,
Is it like granules?
Yeah, it's like granules. Granules is a different version, but yeah, it's the same.
is it like doing it on the table when your family's trying to eat Sunday roast?
Yeah, and then at the end you go, ah.
But you don't even have a boyfriend. You don't even have a boyfriend. How come you doing that stuff?
Because you know, because that's what I do now. That's what I do now. I'm being promiscuous.
You're being promiscuous.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. That's what I'm doing. That's my thing
How
now.
do you do it?
Like, basically, you know, imagine 2 turtles, right?
Right, 2 turtles, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they
And
the
like,
land or the sea ones?
both. And like imagine if they were like an Easter egg, but like flipped round, like, do you know what I mean? Like shell to shell. Right.
Is
Yeah.
there jelly beans inside?
No,
Is it like a posh Easter egg?
no, just
Does
like
it come in a mug?
What are you two going on
Just
about?
the inside of a
I
toe.
don't know.
Neither of you two have done it, have you?
No, I've not. I'm just a bitch.
I've done it loads.
Have you?
Yeah,
No, you haven't.
I have.
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
I only lie down.
In a bar.
No, in my bed.
Who's bed?
My bed.
Your bed?
I lie down in my bed.
Yeah.
Take me kiss off.
Yeah. Your parents know.
Well, we don't tell them explicitly, but I'm sure they hear.
Don't you share with your sister?
No.
The bedroom, I mean.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah.
Excuse me, I was just wondering, the deadline is the 31st of October, gentlemen. Have you, I apologise, have you found out how to solve Brexit yet? Or?
No.
That is what you've been discussing.
Can we have 5 more minutes?
5
Yeah.
minutes, 5 minutes. Need!
Neat. Oh, just give me. It's gonna take time. It's gonna rise. It's gonna go in. It's gonna rise again. It's gonna come out again. It'll take time. Be patient.
Artisans here.
Artisans here.
Yes.
Hello.
Oh,
I am here. It is me, famous French chef, artisan.
artisans early.
I am here
Artisan.
for the bread. I bonjour.
It'll just be another 10 minutes.
Okay, I will be back.
10 minutes. 10 minutes. I'm trying. There's nothing that it's in there now. There's nothing I can do. If I turn it up, I'll turn it up more. I'll turn it up more. More.
Too much, no, too...
Artisan.
Nigel.
The bread is sweetening, rising, growing, expanding.
Very well, but I know you know that I am here to rate your establishment to see if you are worthy of the French bread baguette star.
I would love that, just above the others. Yes. And there we are.
That looks very hot.
It's all right. It's on a dead porpoise. There we are.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Okay. Now, before I taste this, do you have any closing remarks about the?
Don't worry about the fact it's like really dark on the outside and probably gooey on the inside.
Don't worry, I am not racist, just French. That is a stereotype. I do not like it.
Dolls.
Artisan likes to peel the bread. Yes.
It is gooey on the inside. You were right.
We.
It's so quality tasting going on there.
Isn't it amazing to watch it work?
I know. Yeah, baby.
Do you have any jam?
Jump!
The couple moved to Gloucester and had their first child, Heather, although based on her skin tone, it is likely that Heather was actually sired by one of Rosemary's Johns. They were incredibly abusive, and Anne-Marie often recounts the nights that she and her older sister would pray that their mother would return, but she was buried. While Fred was in jail for stealing a diss track, Rosemary beat Charmaine to death. And when the playmates came by, she said she's gone to live with her mother. Good bloody riddance. When Anne-Marie asked where her sister was and why her mother hadn't taken her, Rosemary would say, "She wouldn't want you, love. You're the wrong color." Rose gave birth to a second daughter named May June. Rosemary returned to sex work and focused primarily on Gloucester's West Indian community. She would increasingly subject her Johns to more and more violent sex, while Fred watched from a spy hole outside of their sex room. By 1977, Rosemary's father had come to tolerate his daughter's marriage and developed a begrudging respect for Fred, so much so that they opened a cafe named the Green Lantern, which quickly went out of business. Additionally, her father discovered that she was a sex worker and would start to visit her regularly as a client. By 1983, she had given birth to 8 children, at least 3 of whom had been conceived by clients. Fred willingly accepted these children as his own, and falsely informed them that the reason why their skin was darker than their other siblings was because his great-grandmother was a black woman.
Hello. Thanks for coming.
It's alright.
Are you not staying?
No, well, you know, I mean, you know, your mother asked me to come, so I thought I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest.
Sorry, Dad.
You know, supposed to be my son.
I still am your son, Dad.
Well, that's why I'm disappointed.
I've tried my best, Dad. I tried to follow your example.
Follow my example?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Well, I tried to, you know, rob the right banks, do the right things, do it the right way.
Hey, you shut your mouth about all that kind of nolly clap trap.
Do you mind not using that kind of language, Nessa?
Sorry. Just shut the fuck up.
That's right, it's a prison. We've got standards to maintain.
Sorry, Mr. Paraclaf.
Right. Look, you haven't been blowing mouthing off, you know, bragging, have you?
I haven't
About
mouthed
what you
anybody
done.
off here.
Hey,
Not what I heard.
I don't want you
Dad, please sit down.
trying to be a big man. That's what your dad gets up to.
I want to live up to you, Dad. That's all I ever wanted to do, and now look at me in this yellow jumpsuit. They've given me the wrong colour jumpsuit and everything. I stand out, I look like a fucking banana. Everyone else is in brown.
Well, if you wait a few days, you'll turn around. And you'll fit in with everybody else. That's how bananas work.
What if I get peeled first, Dad?
Right.
I've never been in prison before, I'm scared, Dad.
You should have thought about that before you robbed the Santander.
I did think about it, Dad, but can you give me some advice? You've done time loads of time. I never saw you as a kid.
Get a toothbrush.
Get a toothbrush, right? I've got
Sharpen it up real good.
one. Right?
And then you can get those little bits at the back of your teeth.
Oh, thanks for that, Dad. I've terrible bleeding gums.
Yeah. Alright, I think time's up.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, Dad,
So
what?
it's time for you to go back to your cell.
hang on 1 minute, I think there's going to be something important said.
Alright? It's time for him to go back to his cell as well.
What?
We've got to go back to our IKEA cages, Dad.
Say your piece, though.
Dad, there is just one more thing I wanted to say to you.
Yeah.
Right, that's time.
No, I just, no!
Alright, do you want a sandwich?
Yeah. What we got? Excuse me, what's fresh today?
Bacon one.
Bacon.
Fresh bacon.
Yeah. Oh, weird names for these sandwiches, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
August, July. It was just available August to July.
That's almost all the year.
The West Indian Gloucester.
Oh, what's that got in it?
Gloucester cheese and some turmeric.
Sounds alright, that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Probably racist though.
I don't think spices aren't racist.
No, it's not.
Cheeses.
Cheeses. I mean, it's not a Wensleydale, is it? Right? Yeah.
Excuse me, what's in the special?
That's a bit of bacon.
Just a bit. Just bacon.
It's all bacon.
Or bacon.
Yeah, there's a lot of bacon in here.
Oh, look, there's a lot of bacon.
Yeah, I mean we could have just looked at this the whole time.
I mean, that's just pots and pots and pots and pots of bacon.
There's a ring in that one.
Where are you getting all this bacon from?
Pigs!
Oh.
Makes
right
sense.
then,
Yeah, no, makes sense.
Oh, well, I might have some of the bacon with the ring on.
Do you have any?
Shoot.
Do you have any beef?
Now, what do you take me for? Some bloody butchers.
No, no.
Just bacon, 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 bacon.
Somebody's arm.
Tom. Oh.
Hang on, that's a pig's trotter. That's
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, I might have
He was
that.
married, was he?
Oh,
Yes.
Like to tell the time.
Bloody pig.
I'll have that in a back.
What cakes have you got? What's that?
That's swine surprise.
Right.
That
What's
is-
the surprise?
It's a pig.
Is there another surprise layered on top of that surprise?
Seems like I
Yeah.
should. Oh.
Found out the gender of the pig. Sorry, I'm I'm having a funny day.
I know you was while you're stood over there, not behind the counter.
All we've got is pigs. Lots of pigs.
Because I just really want some beef from a tenderly loved prize cow.
Well, why don't you fuck off to Beef Cafe then?
Alright, I will.
Porky pigs.
I will. Excuse me.
Probably should have known what it was when you came in. No, mate, it is called pork pigs.
Welcome to Beef Cafe.
I stopped to buy some water on the way. What have you got then?
Largely beef.
Yeah, he actually just looks at the counter. Hang on, there's an Apple Watch there.
An Apple Watch.
An Apple, yeah, like an iWatch.
Yes. Hi. That's just my wife.
In October of 1972, the West hired 17-year-old Caroline Owens to be the children's nannies. Owens was told that Rose ran a massage parlor, and that's why there were so many clients coming in the out of the house, and that Fred was an underground abortionist. In fact, he offered to pay Caroline in abortions if needed. He often made sexual advances towards her up until the point that she quit. Knowing that she hitchhiked a lot, the couple formulated a plan. Initially, they picked Owens up in the car, and she believed the Wests were picking her up to apologize, so she got in the car. Rose joined her in the back seat and explained that she wanted to have a girls' chat as Fred drove. She was then gagged with a scarf and duct tape. She was taken back to the home and repeatedly assaulted. Over the course of a few days, she was abused by the couple, who kept remarking about how odd her genitals looked. Having heard Owens scream, one of the children knocked on the door and saw into the room where she had been restrained. Fred threatened to keep the child locked up in the days and allow their black friends to abuse her. When they had finished, then he would then bury their body in the paving stones of Gloucester like they did your sister. Owen's mother filed a missing persons report, and the police soon discovered her drugged in the basement room. The Wests were arrested and charged with assault, indecent assault, of bodily harm, and rape. The case was tried at the Gloucester Magistrate Court on January 12, 1973, but by this date, Owens decided that she could not face the ordeal of testifying. All charges pending to her sexual abuse was dropped, and the Wests agreed to plead to the reduced charges of assault and causing bodily harm. They were each fined £50 and walked free.
If you'd like to just take your clothes off, sir, and lie down face down onto the bed.
Face down, yeah?
Yeah.
Is there? Oh, there is.
Yeah, I'll leave. I'll leave. You have a back
All right.
in a second.
Right, so I'm just going to set up here, and the little monitor will be here. So anytime you want to just pop back in, as you can see, he's down, he's down on the bed now. Yeah, this is going to be funny.
Alright, sir. Right, what can I work on for you today?
Well, it's my lower back mainly.
Your lower back?
Yeah,
you see?
that's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very tight, sir.
Shut it.
Let me just get some oil.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I'll be looking forward to this, you know.
Have you?
Oh yes.
Yeah, you can feel that, yeah. Working that there.
Yeah.
Was Michael not available?
No, Michael is not available
Oh, that's a
today.
shame. What's your name?
Mark.
Oh, I see.
I love this bit.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Right, there we go. That's the whole session. That'll be £45.
What?
That's the whole session. That's the end.
But I've only just laid down. I'm still stiff and tense.
Well, oh, I see what you mean, sir. Well, I mean, that's all we do here is just really good quick massages and absolutely nothing else.
That was really, really swift.
Yeah? Look the way you've been able to turn in that very small space.
It took me a while.
Yeah, but it'll take me a lot longer before.
Massage table isn't the most comfortable. It's just 3 plastic chairs you pushed in.
We got you. We got you. Yeah. All right.
What is this?
Yeah, you've been filmed. You've been filmed.
I've been here the whole time.
Yeah. It's your wife. Yeah. She knew you'd been coming here and getting hand jobs off Michael. And we thought we'd film you.
And you set this whole thing up to catch me having
it's
a
a
gotcha.
We thought you'd be really disappointed when all you got was an efficient massage.
Oh, right, yeah, you saw me. You know me coming for wax. Oh.
Yeah.
You got me.
Do you mind signing this release form? It's going to go out at 6 PM on a Saturday night.
Yeah, sure.
Always get something underground. I don't think he gets a ticket, you know.
Just don't.
No.
Gitchy, ya, da, da.
Do we
Gitchy, ya. Mocha chocolate, ya. La la la.
It's the words, it's Lady
La mama la.
See what was Jolene on? I don't know. That's what the song's about.
Come on, lay.
I'm not telling him I mean I can't
Come on. Hey, do you want to be my Moulin Rouge? I've got built my own little windmill in the garden, and there's only me. You know, it's very hard being Christina Aguilera and the other 5.
no thanks. No, we're getting off at the next stop
we've got to
anyway.
go to the-
The thing that they're doing.
Well, what about but I need somebody to do the bit at the end where they sing and cough up blood.
We're sorry to say that the train has been delayed here. We're going to be held here for at least 20 minutes. There's been an issue on embankment. Should be moving, as I say, in 20 minutes.
Make it 25, Eric.
25.
Why are there 2 people?
Lovely.
You don't want to be in my little Moulin Rouge?
No, we're all right.
We're all right.
Thank you for thinking of
Yeah,
us.
appreciate it.
Yeah. There's only in case of emergency can go through the little door. Is this an emergency?
I don't think you're ready for this, Shirley. I don't think you're ready for.
The official murders not being the people that Fred murdered so that he could hang out with Rose, and not being Rose killing some of Fred's earlier children, the official serial killing began 3 months after the West assault trial. The couple committed their first known murder. Fred and Rosemary opened their homes to tenants, and their first victim was 19-year-old Lisa Goy. They bound and tortured her in the room that Rose served John in. Other tenants and Linda's mother were told that she hit one of the children and had been asked to leave. Her body was dismembered and buried under the patio stones. They killed 12 women in that manner during the 1980s. Their crimes all had heavy sexual undertones, and all of them ended up under the patio, with 2 tenants and 7 children living in their home the whole time. Their cruelty did not stop with their victims. The couple started molesting and selling their children alongside Rose in hopes of teaching them to be able to serve their husbands when they got married.
Hello there, Clive.
Alright.
First meeting of the heavy sexual undertones.
Yeah, it is.
Is a drummer coming?
Oh, I am the drummer.
Am I late?
It's the bassist.
So, we've got drummer, we've got bassist, we've got lead guitar and singer.
I'm slapping it.
I'm just going to get a nipple out.
That is a heavy sexual undertone. I like it.
I'll just keep slapping this.
Let's try and tone it down a
Turn
bit.
it down?
I think we should tone it down a
Half
bit.
a nipple?
No, you see the thing is, the Rolling Stones don't actually roll no stone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
just because we're called a heavy sexual undertone, don't mean we need to have no heavy sexual undertone.
Like the Arctic monkeys are like really cold chimps.
No, they come from the Antarctic. It's a common misconception.
I'll be honest, I only got into music to pull birds, so
I brought one for you.
I found it
On a
very much.
string.
But I think this is a case of creative differences that cannot be settled. Now, which way did that bird go?
So what are we gonna do now if we're not gonna be overtly sexual with our instruments? Because all I know how to do is to.
Well,
That's it.
we've lost a drummer, but I do know a guy who could possibly play the drums.
Huh?
He's got a big metal hand.
Oh right.
Yeah.
How many drums does he get through?
Loads and loads. He's good at the cymbals though.
I'm gonna give it a go.
So what gets me, right,
Yeah.
is not being one of the official ones.
Right.
It's like, I've been murdered,
Yes.
but I don't count. That really annoys. It really, of all of the things that happened to me, not being counted as one of the official murders really ticks me off.
Yes, you are rather an Aldi brand victim, aren't you?
But I'm still a victim.
You are still a victim. You are still a victim, but you're just not.
Next.
Right, you coming in then?
Yep.
It's a bit upset it's not been counted as one of the official victims.
Yeah, I had everything you don't want to happen happened to me.
Yes.
Doesn't count though.
No, you know, it does still count, it does still count. Can we give him a slightly smaller heart?
I heard that. I heard that.
Well, we've got to save the big ones for the official...
Oh, the proper
We
victims.
can give you a cloud. However, it's not quite a cumulonimbus.
Oh, what is it then?
A cumulonumpty.
I mean, that's all we've got.
Yes.
You know, we've got to save the big boys.
You might have to share a cloud too.
Share a cloud with who?
And we don't really know, they're not officially on the list.
Yeah. The one of the nameless.
Oh, fine. I'm not happy about it.
Well, if you could leave us a TripAdvisor review, then
Oh, am I in the right place?
What's your name, sorry?
Derek, I came off my motorcycle.
Oh, we've got an official one.
Brain
we've got an
squish,
official one.
brain squish.
Now, you've been in a Premier Inn for 3 days, and you thought, you know, you're just on a holiday, but in fact, we've renovated your entire garden.
Oh my God!
Yes, we've got rid of all the bushes and the plants, and replaced it all with decking.
Oh, I can't believe. Oh, I can't believe you've done this.
Yes.
Oh, I thought I was just going to a Premier Inn, but really it's DIY SOS.
It is. I mean, you know, you might not think there's not a lot of plants, but do you see that cactus in a zinc bucket?
Yeah.
There we go. Yes, that's yours. Yes.
Oh, I love it. I love the bench.
Yes.
I love the patio. Is it flat?
Yes, it's flat. Yes. And you've got a cow as well.
Oh, hi. Okay. Oh,
Yes, it's very sensitive.
okay.
Now, if you don't mind, me and Charlie and I think it was Tony.
Tony, it was Tony.
Tony Walsh.
Yeah.
We're going off to.
Tommy.
We're going to have a threesome.
Oh, I dig graves.
Heather, one of the couple's older children, complained to her friends about the abuse that she and her siblings were enduring. Additionally, she showed many signs of psychological distress. Staff at her secondary school noted that Heather would never change or shower and refuse any orders related to sporting activities or anything physical, despite the fact that she was generally a studious and obedient pupil. On one occasion, they forced her to take a shower. Peers and staff noted that her arms, legs, and torso were covered in bruises in various stages of healing. Heather attempted to cover up these injuries by saying that they were from fights with her siblings, but confided in one of her friends that it was done by her parents, also adding that her mother regularly called her a little bitch who deserved the beatings. By the mid-1890s, rumors of Rose's sex life had reached several of the children's classmates, and although the West children were instructed never to divulge any details of their lives to people at school, Heather confided her friends that the rumors were true. For this, she was the 12th victim to go under the stones.
Right, sit down, Gary.
I'll try.
This is it's going to be a bit of an awkward conversation that I'm going to have with you.
Aren't they all?
But we're having a chat with the gang, and we feel like it's better that you know. There's no easy way to say this.
Spit it out.
You stink. You're really bloody smelly, and people are starting to notice. When was the last time you had a shower?
Don't believe in them, they're against my religion.
What religion do you follow?
The smelly bastards.
You've made that up.
I have not made that up, we've got a book and a pamphlet at a church.
Right.
We do.
And what's in the book and the pamphlet in the church?
It is the Book of Nif.
The book in it.
The Book of Nif. And thou shalt see that in the Book of Nif, if thou walketh upon the grass, which is clean, thou shalt find a dog poo, pick it up and wipe it on thou head.
Meanwhile, at the church,
This is good, they bring the dog poo in a minute.
When do they break the bread of the body of Jesus Christ, but it's actually just a dried cow pat?
Well, that's once you've been confirmed.
oh, here come the sprouts.
This is where we pray.
That's awful, that.
You know, I don't think this is for me.
Look, if you're struggling, I've got some nostril openers.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, it's like poppers for your face.
Oh, you've activated it. Oh.
I feel at one with Nif.
I think I might just go back to being a Catholic. I much prefer to internalise my guilt.
You do not leave the Church of Boo!
You're-
We've locked the doors,
you-
they are sealed.
We've sealed it with wattle and daub.
and you syringes everywhere. Ah!
We have a non-believer.
Shall we Stilton him, oh father?
I think we should.
Stilton.
Oh,
Stilton.
oh, Jesus Christ!
Stilton.
Oh God.
Oh,
man spreader and it's that bloke again.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want, so tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want, so tell you what I want. Do you want to be in my Spice Girls group?
I don't want to be in it now.
Fred and Rosemary West started to groom their youngest daughter, and it had a clear psychological impact. So much so that she was reenacting the abuse she experienced at home on a dolls at a friend's house. Her friend's mother noticed and called the police. They discovered a house of horror. At first, Fred was charged with 3 counts of rape and 1 count of burglary with Rose as an accomplice. She was also charged with child cruelty and inciting her husband to engage in sex with her daughter. The police wanted to know where Heather was. Fred claimed that Heather was alive and well and supporting herself as a prostitute in Amsterdam, while Rose told police that she was a lesbian and had ordered Heather out of the house. Their case continued to grow against them. The police knew something was up and they focused on finding Heather. Anne-Marie, who had managed to escape the home at 18, put additional pressure on the police by filing a missing persons report for her mother, older sister, and the nanny she had grown up with. The police executed a search warrant and lifted up the patio stones and found an endless pit of bodies. Shortly after they arrested Fred, he took his own life in jail. Today, Rose is serving life in prison. She's considered everyone's prison mom and has won the prison baking competition for the past 5 years in a row.
James, isn't the Heather beautiful today?
It's absolutely gorgeous. Scotland's so lovely. Where I clearly spent all of my life.
Every single waking moment, that's what you told me.
That's absolutely true.
Go on then. What have you brought me up on this blasted Heather for?
Oh, I've brought you here to ask you something.
Oh. Go on.
Have you ever wanted to go to Amsterdam? Just anywhere that's not Scotland. You could go anywhere. You could be anything. You could be a lesbian. You could be a writer. You could be a Mormon.
Is that what you brought me up here to ask me, James?
Just saying. You might not want to be with me. You could be anything.
I do want to be with you, James. That's why I followed you up here. That's, you know, we've been together since university. I do want to be with you. I do. Forever and ever and ever, James. Forever on the Heather. Just you and me.
Rightio. Fine. I will stay here.
I don't want to be a lesbian writer in Amsterdam.
But you could be. Don't let me hold you back.
Well, I wouldn't be any good at it, James.
But what? Writing?
Writing and being a lesbian. I'd be a terrible lesbian.
All right. Well, I brought Steph just in case, but
You brought Steph.
she don't want to do it. So. And I brought a famous writer, Stephen King. Yeah,
Stephen.
Hi,
yeah.
Stephen King.
Look how angry he is at the world.
Alright, and I'm still really pissed off about the original Shining movie.
I thought he could, you know, read some of your work and critique it. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Go on, stay on your way.
Alright,
Lovely to meet you, Mr. King.
Hi.
I'm sorry I've wasted your time.
well, it's a long flight and a long walk.
I hope you enjoy your trip.
Yeah, whatever, this is even worse than Cujo.
All these things I've done for you and you don't want any of them.
But I didn't want you to do any of those things for
Also
me.
chartered this biplane that could fly you all the way to Amsterdam.
Yes, well, she's ready to go. Ready to fly the old lady over.
Why have you brought bagels?
I say, old chap, if you check the petrol clutch.
Oh, bloody hell, there's a bit of bloody Heather stuffed up in Get out of there, please. Thank you very much, right?
James, what the fucking hell's going on?
I just want you to live your dreams. I thought I could show you all the things you could be and then you could pick one. But you don't want any of them.
You know what I'm...
I've got it on the meter, you see. You're coming along to Amsterdam with
I've got
a
to
bloody fine district I'd like to walk down in. Ladies lit up in red and well,
You could do that.
I'm really sorry that your time's been wasted and your biplane's come all the way over here. You squashed all of this heather with the wheels.
Look, I thought you were supposed to be a lesbian. I thought you'd have no problem with a biplane.
So, Rose, we're 20 minutes from the end of your signature bake. How's it going?
It's going all right, yeah.
Now, obviously there was a bit of a problem recently with a baked Alaska, but how are you getting on there?
Well, I put it in a proving oven for a bit, and I put it out, put it in. It's baking up the tree.
Yeah, and what have you? I see you've made it look like a patio.
Why not? I mean,
Your signature was
make what you know.
Yeah, everyone. Okay, well I'm going to come back to you in a
Alright,
minute.
no problem.
So, Charles.
Yeah.
Manson.
Yeah.
How's your signature bake going?
Yeah, lovely. Just making this lovely cake in the shake the boat.
A ranch.
Yeah. Okay, well I'll be back soon.
Cheers, love.
And OJ,
Hi.
how's your signature dish going? It looks like a white Jeep.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's
You
gonna
made all
be
the
real
police,
nice.
all the macaron police cars.
Yeah, the whole Kardashian clan are just in the background, just waiting for that moment. You
I
know?
see everyone else has been able to put on their piping gloves though, but yours.
Oh yeah.
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 So Rose, how are we getting on there?
Got a bit excited and I stabbed it a lot.
Right, well, I think it's time for Mary Berry to come and taste everything.
That's right, that's me, Mary Berry, not Paul Hollywood.
No, he somehow refused to do this one.
So, let me just have a little try of this one. Very fresh. Let me just bring my own knife. I don't trust yours.
Alright, just try and just find out.
Let me see.
I love the red velvet.
Fresh.
What do you mean, red velvet?
I mean, that's why the inside of the cake is a dark red colour.
Sinewy.
No, Rose.
Who are you?
Busy.
Doing what?
This.
What's he doing there?
Digging graves.
You.
Do I?
Did it?
I dabbled a bit in university.
We oversaw your badge.
Yeah.
Little spade on the left hip.
Yes. IDG. People don't normally know what it means.
I did
But
great.
we
I did
you know,
Yeah. But it's like I dig graves, but it's also like I dig graves.
Is it really? I never got that.
Yes, like I really like graves, but you know, like young people.
Has anyone seen my prized cow?
Oh.
No.
Oh no!
You didn't see anything. We dig graves.
And that's Crime of the Hour. And thank you guys so much for coming out to our final performance. You've been great. Have a lovely night.
Demise